Are you feeling completely overwhelmed by a world that just demands you care about everything all the time? Well, today, we're cutting right through all that noise. We're going to take the most powerful ideas from Mark Manson's game-changing book and turn them into a clear, usable system you can start using, like right now. I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're just exhausted, completely drained from caring about every little thing every single day. You're constantly replaying conversations in your head, trying to figure out what that text really meant. It's maddening. Or how about that feeling when your stomach just drops as you say yes to yet another thing you absolutely do not have the energy for, all because you don't want to disappoint someone? And then there's the paralysis. From what to watch on TV to which career path to take, the sheer number of choices can leave you feeling totally, completely stuck. So, here's a wild thought. What if the real secret to confidence, to peace, to actual freedom isn't about trying to care more? What if it's about learning the subtle art of caring less? Okay, but let's be super clear about what this means. Not giving a fuck does not mean you become some kind of indifferent jerk. No, it means you become ruthlessly selective about what deserves your energy. You become a gatekeeper for your own mind. So, here it is, our roadmap. We've broken it down into 6 practical steps to help you master this whole thing. Let's dive into the first one. All right, step 1. This is a truth that is both kind of brutal, but also incredibly liberating once you get it. You have a finite amount of energy every single day. You just do. And if you treat it like it's this infinite resource, you're on the fastest possible path to burnout. It's just a fact. And this right here, this visualizes the problem perfectly. Look at where the energy goes. 40% on what other people think, 25% on tiny mistakes, 10% on your ex's social media. It's insane. You're left with this tiny 5% sliver for what actually matters to you. Real power comes when you decide intentionally to flip that budget. This isn't being selfish, it's strategic self-preservation. Okay, next up, let's talk about this nasty little self-sabotage cycle that so many of us are trapped in and we don't even realize it. It's called the feedback loop from hell. So here's how it works. You feel a negative emotion, right? Let's say anxiety. But then you immediately judge yourself for feeling anxious. Ugh, why am I so anxious? I shouldn't be. And now you're anxious about being anxious. And the whole thing just spins faster and faster, draining you completely. So how do you get out? It's something called radical acceptance. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It just means you stop judging your emotions. You just let them be. You feel anxious? Okay. Acknowledge it. I'm feeling anxious right now. That's it. That simple act of not adding that second layer of shame breaks the cycle and frees up so much mental space. So protecting your energy isn't just an internal job, right? You also have to set boundaries with the outside world. And that brings us to step 3. Look, people-pleasing is just slow self-betrayal. We're so afraid that saying no will make people disappointed or think we're rude, but look at what actually happens. People start to respect your time more. You're seen as honest, not rude. And here's the best part. Because you're not saying yes to everything, your yes suddenly becomes way more valuable. And this leads us perfectly into our next point. Because saying no to all those distractions is exactly how you say a really powerful yes to the things that actually matter. This chart shows the paradox of choice perfectly. We've got this major fear of missing out, right? So we try to juggle a dozen projects at once. But look at the result. High effort, low results. It's spread too thin. True freedom isn't having endless choices. It's choosing one path and going deep. When you focus your energy, like in the second chart, your results go through the roof. Seriously, depth beats breadth every single time. Okay, so you've committed. You've chosen your focus. But now you're just waiting for that lightning bolt of motivation to strike before you start? Yeah, that's completely backward. We all have this idea that we need to feel inspired before we can act. But the truth is the exact opposite. Action is the spark, not the result. So just do something. Anything. Take one tiny imperfect step. Send that one email. Go for a 5-minute walk. That small action creates a little bit of momentum. And it's that momentum that actually creates the feeling of motivation. So you're taking action, things are moving. But what happens when you inevitably hit a wall? Well, that brings us to the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, changing how you think about struggle.
Let's get one thing straight. A life without problems does not exist. It's a fantasy. Happiness isn't found by avoiding problems. It's found in solving problems that you actually care about. So the real question you should be asking isn't, how do I avoid pain? It's, what struggle is worthwhile to me? The pain of getting fit? The struggle of building something great? You get to choose your problems.
When you put all these steps together, you realize this whole thing isn't about being negative or indifferent at all. It's about freedom. It's freedom from the cage of other people's opinions, freedom from the endless cycle of overthinking. It's about the freedom to finally focus on what actually matters to you.
So I'm going to give you a challenge. Start today. What is one thing, just one thing, that you are going to consciously stop giving a fuck about? A minor worry, an unnecessary obligation, someone's pointless opinion. What is it? Because that's the whole art right there. You don't need to care less about everything. You just need to care more selectively. Master that, and I promise you everything changes.